Good morning and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson, owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm here to build a crystal grid with all of you and begin some healing for everyone. If you have any requests for healing, go ahead and enter them into the chat if you feel up to it, and I'll be more than happy to reflect it in the crystal grid. Before we get started, I'll explain a little bit about how Reiki works, but for now, I'll just focus on the grid. Feel free to ask any questions about Reiki in the chat as well, and I'm happy to have you here this morning. Got us started out with some Unakite in the center there. It's great for having us when we have change that's ready to happen and it's not quite there, it's not quite cracking open, and it's almost like we need a push. It's excellent. It's also wonderful for things like anger and resentment and transforming that energy. And we've got pink tourmaline, which is super lovely, supportive and nurturing of the heart chakra. I'm going to add in a little bit more Unakite. Welcome in. Rhodonite, which helps support us through certain types of grief, as well as helping us to heal emotional pain that can be so difficult we can't quite express it. We feel it, but we don't quite express it. Hello and welcome in. I'm Danielle from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. If you have any special requests for healing, go ahead and enter it into the chat, and I'll be more than happy to reflect it in today's crystal grid. If not, you can just go ahead and relax, get comfortable, and I'll start sending Reiki in about 5 or 10 minutes, if not sooner. Adding some rose quartz, warm heart chakra energy. And unless anyone else has any requests, I think the last one will be a little green onyx. This is extra nurturing to the heart chakra, but also in terms of grief. And this can be grief that is over something like a loss, whether someone has passed on or breakup, something along those lines, or just grief that comes from personal transformation and letting go of who we used to be so that we can become who we are. And another stone that's excellent for that is fossilized wood. So let me know if you'd like me to add that one in too. I feel like there's one more thing that wants to come out. Hi, welcome in. Good morning. Any requests for the crystal grid today? Good to see you. Copper, you got it. I can also throw in some other ones from your requests from yesterday if you'd like to. Lots of heart stones today. So let's see. I have copper right here. So we have Unakite and lots of it. Unakite and Unakite all around there. Unakite is excellent for helping to push us through change when we feel a little bit stuck and letting go of negativity. Also helps with like anger and resentment. This here is pink tourmaline, super nurturing to the heart chakra. We've got rhodonite, which is excellent for really painful heart chakra type emotions, like just everything emotional, especially when it's just so much that we can't even verbalize it, and to some extent a little bit of grief. I also have green onyx, which is just, it illuminates the heart. It really helps support it, especially if it's a time of grief, whether it's letting go of someone or something, or letting go of a version of us so that we can transcend it and move past it. Rose quartz to help support the heart chakra with love, unconditional love, and just a lightness and brightness. Now we've got your request of copper, and copper helps to move energy throughout the body. Absolutely love it. And let's see. Let's do a couple more things that have helped for you. I know there's some red tiger eye, and we'll definitely do some citrine, I think. And we'll call it a morning, and we'll get to some Reiki. Okay, so citrine. Social anxiety. Anxiety in general I have, but let's see if I can look up something for social anxiety specifically. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there's the red jasper, and let's see. I would normally suggest like things like Unakite, which we have. Let's see if I have something else that's a little bit better for anxiety. I was thinking amethyst is what I usually use, and I will look up some more stones for that later on today. Before I start sending, I'll just add one more, and that is red tiger eye. Here it is. And red tiger eye will help again with blood flow as well as manifesting money. It's a good thing here. Let's see. Let's put them around. also highly protective. Actually, no, I want to put here a little closer. Fantastic. So thank you so much for being here today. It's an honor and a pleasure. And for anyone who might be watching this in the future, welcome. Oh, absolutely. There we go. So yes, thank you so much for the requests and for being here. Let's get into some Reiki. So again, I'm Danielle. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I teach Reiki online as well as provide healing sessions over a distance as well as in person in Pennsylvania. You can learn more about all of that good stuff, my social media, the community Discord, and all of that in the description. But thanks for being here. From here on out, just go ahead and relax. Find the most comfortable spot you can, move around all you might need to. There's no wrong way to enjoy this time. I'll turn up the music when it's time to really get into it, but for now I'm just going to explain a little bit about how Reiki works and just go ahead and send. So Reiki, as I understand it, is the sort of the understanding that everything is connected by a particular, by many sets of energy. This particular energy, which translates kind of roughly to spiritually guided life energy, runs through all of us. All of us have access to it, in my opinion. All of us have the ability to connect with it. The system that we see most commonly in the West is known as Usui Reiki. And this particular methodology was created by a Buddhist monk about 100 years ago in Japan to be a more secular and a more accessible to the regular masses targeted style of actually working with it. While most folks in Japan then and now understand culturally and regard in a cultural sense these energies that are around us, it's still a concept in the West. At that time, Usui was living in Japan at a place where there was a very difficult emperor in charge. Teaching things like religion and even spirituality were thoroughly banned. And he wanted to help those in Japan to reconnect with a practice of working with this energy that everyone kind of knew from home, from family, things like that, to give them more structure, give them more of a way to connect, and help them have some way of impacting themselves and others in a positive way. It's very simplified, it's very direct, it doesn't require anything of you other than to be open. So that's pretty much all you need to do here. I invite you to go ahead and find a comfortable spot, move around all you need to. You can lie down and close your eyes, you can meditate, you can nap, you don't have to focus on anything, and you don't have to keep a clear mind. All you need to do is support yourself in any way that you can and just allow me to do the work. During the session, you might feel relaxed or sleepy or anything else for that matter. If you feel like your mind is wandering in a way that's not productive, go ahead and take a deep breath. Sometimes a really good space to logically parse things out is exactly what Reiki is there to provide. As you receive your session, if you feel like you're going to fall asleep, go for it. If you're worried about oversleeping for something, go ahead and set an alarm now. In about a half an hour, you will hear my voice come back in and invite you to take a deep breath in and out. And as you do so, start to come back. As we go through the session, I'll go ahead and simply send, and you can go ahead and gaze at the crystal grid if you'd like. At the same time, you can just close your eyes or, take a gander at something that you've been reading, whatever feels right to you. Thank you again for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. And because this energy connects all of us everywhere, no matter where we happen to be, whether you're in the future or whether you're here right now and around the world, Reiki will absolutely meet you where you're at. And thank you so much for this opportunity to share it with you. I deeply appreciate it. So without any further ado, go ahead, get nice and comfortable, sit up, lay down, move around, whatever feels right. Enjoy your session, and I'll be back for you in about a half an hour. I invite you now to take a deep breath. Allow yourself to slowly come back. Check in with your body, see if you'd like to stretch, move, or bend. And if you'd like to stay where you are and continue to rest, simply go ahead and do so. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to go ahead and use the chat if you're live. If you're watching this on recording, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. It's been an honor and a privilege to share this healing with you this morning. Again, I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm here 5 times a week sending Reiki and crystal healing live. You can go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like notifications of when I go live. And you can also always watch the replays. We keep them on the channel, and I do upload periodic other lessons and tips and tricks for your Reiki practice, etc. Keep an eye out for those, and most of all, I'm happy you're here. If you are watching this on the replay, know that I always list the crystals that are in the grid in the description, as well as listing them off and what they do at the beginning. And thank you so much. And thank you for the love in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love and good health. All the best wishes to you. And I'll be back here. Today is Thursday, so we're 8 a.m. US East Coast time. Friday, we'll be here 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sunday, 8 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. all Eastern date. Well, right now daylight time, GMT -4 because we're in the spring and summer hours. Thank you so much for being here again. Lots of love, lots of healing. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now, but I will be in the comments for a few minutes yet if you have any questions whatsoever. I hope to see you again soon. Take care and be well. Just popping back with an answer to your question. It's easier to kind of like explain it like this rather than typing it out. So, excellent question, like explaining what Reiki is to people. That's definitely one of the more difficult parts of my job. It's more difficult to explain to people what I do than it is to do it. I generally start, I feel very much like keeping it simple and having a dialogue around it can be most helpful. So, for example, I start with Reiki is a Japanese technique of energy healing, or it's a Japanese method of energy healing, because it puts the cultural understanding along with energy, and it also, celebrates the culture and recognizes the culture that this particular practice of energy work comes from. And I usually say it's a Japanese practice of energy work or energy healing that supports body, mind, and spirit, or supports the mind-body connection. And I start there. And then I usually kind of pause and see if they have an immediate question. And then as far as like, what does it do? How does it help? I just give anecdotal, responses. Like, this is how it has helped me, and this is how it has helped my clients, without obviously naming them. But that's kind of how I describe it. Yeah, Japanese energy healing technique to support the mind-body connection, or to help bring balance to the mind, body, and spirit. And that's kind of where I start. And then if it's really like, what is it, but what is it, but what is it? I usually, and this is more like because I've been doing this since 2008, there was not as much awareness of what Reiki was by any means comparative to today. I used to have to describe Reiki on the back of my business cards, like just to even remotely present what I did. And what I did was I would use analogies. So a good analogy, especially if someone lives in the city, especially Philly, I would say, are you familiar with Tai Chi? Or have you seen Tai Chi? And I would kind of demonstrate it. Have you seen folks early in the morning in the parks, and they're doing, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, they're not just moving their body, they're moving their energy. And doing Reiki is sort of like, I'm helping do that for you while you rest. And that's not a perfect analogy by any means, but what is a perfect analogy? There's no such thing. So like, that usually helps. So I hope that helps with like, how do I explain Reiki to people? I would say make it a personal explanation with what you've experienced and what you feel it is. I know there's some people in the Reiki community that are like, you have to use these words and you can't use those words. And I'd say this is what's most important, and as far as, there's a greater dialogue in like, what is Reiki? Like there was actually a conversation taking place on Twitter this morning about, can we really get informed consent when we don't know what the mechanism is behind Reiki? And my whole thing is, well, are you being honest about whether or not there's a known cause or mechanism behind how Reiki works? Like, if you're being honest that we don't know what it is, then that's fine. Like that, there can be informed consent around, I really, science comes this far and we don't see it beyond here. There's nothing wrong with that, but being honest about it. So I would say, as long as you're reflecting your experiences, what it means to you, and we're not making promises, because even doctors don't promise to like cure things, because we can't promise what someone else's body is going to do. That's not something anybody can do. So yeah, just even when clients ask me, does it specifically do this or that? Can it help me with this? It's like, it's definitely not going to hurt. It may help. Let's try it. Try a session, see if it does. If it does help, we can either keep seeing one another, or you can learn how to do this. And I generally leave it very open-ended, so as honest as possible. So I hope that helps. Maybe we should do a Reiki Master Q&A sometime soon. I've done those before on Zoom and once in the Discord. Maybe we can do it here. But also feel free to email me your questions, or we can just arrange to meet up on Zoom and I can do it, or we can meet up in the Discord and do it too. Thank you again so much for being here. But yeah, let's do, maybe we'll do, maybe I'll set something up for doing some questions and answers. And I'll be in touch to make sure that you both can be around. Awesome. Sweet. So any other questions before I kind of go on my way? Not that I'm in any rush whatsoever. The benefits of working from home. Oh, awesome. I look forward to seeing Reiki too. I saw you signed up. Appreciate it. And lots of love to both of you in finding a house. I know that's not easy right now. A friend of mine recently found a beautiful place in North Philly. She's super happy there. It's like her little oasis. Thank you. You have a blessed morning too. Okay, I'm gonna pop out for now. Thank you again so much for being here. Honor and a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you both soon in Reiki 2. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.